Hey Chris, so um, I want to do like a long, proper demo and explain a lot more, but I think it's best to just show you really quick what's up with what I'm doing. So as you know, I'm trying to build this AI employee, okay? And an AI employee, just like any employee, needs to be onboarded, okay? This is where you train them for what they got to do. You teach them what their responsibilities are on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, whatever, and you teach them what the mission is, you teach them what the company's goals are, the ethos, and then you teach an employee what tasks they have to do as part of their job. Like what work do they do and how do they do it? Okay? So this is the onboarding stage, all right? And then after the onboarding, you could still always be teaching the employee new tasks, right? But ideally, once you teach them what to do, they're just gonna run off, not run off, but they're gonna just do it independently. You don't want to have to be there constantly checking if they're doing the work properly or just guiding them the whole way. That negates the whole point of having employees. You want to delegate, right? And that's why this thing that I'm working on, it kind of just self prompts. Okay? It prompts itself based on timers, based on triggers, and based on instructions from other models. You can also give this AI employee instructions as well, but ideally you want to just let it go and do its thing, and you're going to check in on the quality of the work, and you're going to get reports, you're going to get whatever you need, like documents researched sent to you, dockets prepared, but they have to be an independent worker and they have to do work, okay? As in, they have to have agency, they have to have the ability to manipulate the environment around them. If at first just digitally, like on a computer, let it run programs on a desktop or even just a browser, because you could do a lot within a browser. A lot of work can be done just through manipulating web pages, okay? So this is kind of the setup I had. You onboard it and then it just runs. And it's got a bunch of different models doing different things. Okay, there's a way to link them all together and make it very coordinated. And you have different models doing different jobs based on how powerful they are, what they're built for. Like you have reasoning models that can really, really think and break down complicated goals into actionable steps. And you could have models like that providing direction to other models that aren't so well thought out, right? They don't think so well, but they may have vision capabilities or audio capabilities, or they're really cheap and efficient to use for parsing data or just creating structured outputs, for example. So you want to put it all together, you give these models agency, you let them self-prompt in a safe way, okay, based on timers, triggers, and instruction from you or themselves, all right? And you kind of have a worker at that point. You can train them and then they do the job, okay? So this was the setup I wanted to build, okay? Just a very simple dashboard, a way to interface with the back end, which is, like I said, just a bunch of models working together in a certain way to represent like a complex organism of sorts, made up of many smaller organisms, okay, playing different roles, all right, but they work together in harmony to output a lot better than humans sometimes, honestly. And I'm certain it is the way of the future. So I'm just gonna focus on the demo. So tasks, okay, you're gonna train the tasks that you want your employee to do. You onboard them, and then you're gonna teach them more tasks along as they do their job, right? And then you got the timers, you got the triggers. You want to see what they're doing. stay up to date with your actions. And you want to be able to talk to your employee. Okay, if you can't talk and interact with your employee, give them instructions, immediate things you need done, or you can't just listen to them as they give you feedback on the work they've done. That's not a good position to be in. So you must be able to interact with the employee. And obviously, they have to do work. Okay, so this is what we have right now. This is like JANUS VO. Okay, so you got your tasks, you got your timers, you got your triggers, you got the action log, everything they're doing, and you get to see what they're doing on Janus's screen. Okay, as it does it. All right, and you can interact with Janus by typing, like just texting, or you can chat with Janus with your voice. Okay. So these are just some of the tasks that I trained Janus to do. And these were very, very easy to train because one of the coolest parts of this thing is that you could train this employee to do work in a browser with just words. Like you could just define a set of steps you want done on a browser, like go to a certain web page, log in, okay? Search for something, okay? Get the data, do something with the data, save it, email it, compile it in a PDF, all right? So you basically train a bunch of tasks for this bot to do, and you can add more tasks, and then it just goes out and it just does it, okay? And right now, it's at this really early stage. I think it's important to train the tasks ourselves, but I've been doing some experiments where you got a really, really potent reasoning model that can break down a complex outcome, a complex like goal into a series of actionable steps and not just like attempt them, but it can test the steps it has made for itself and see if it reaches the outcome desired. And if not, it can pinpoint where it went wrong and try again. Okay? So enough yapping, let me just show you an example task that it can do in a browser. And keep in mind, none of these tasks that it does were pre-programmed. The software just kind of translates natural language into browser automations. So let's give the task of going to the SEC Edgar website and downloading the latest Tesla filing. And when that document is downloaded, it's going to email it to me. Okay, so let's send it. All right. Now let's go see what Janus is doing. Okay. I think the beauty is that these automations are programmable with just words. Like you don't need to code. You don't need to set up your own APIs. You don't need to worry about bot detection, rate limits and whatnot. Anything a human can do in a browser, Janus can do and do it just like a human. Okay? So we get the latest filing, pop it open, save it and close it. And when it's saved to a certain folder, it just automatically sends it to my email. So that was received, okay? Let's try a different approach. With the triggers, when a new email comes in from a potential client, okay, let's test that out right now. Okay, so I'm gonna set up my email server. It keeps getting disconnected, like I told you, but hopefully it works out this time. So I'm gonna send this email, and it's gonna have a bunch of words in the email that will trigger it to do an action with the data it extracts from the email. This is just like in the text of the email. There's no attachments, but that's totally doable. Okay. So I just sent the email, and let's see what Janus does with that, okay? So triggers, emails coming in, calls, voicemails, texts, okay? These are all things that are going to trigger a reaction from Janus, okay? So triggers, and we got timers. Timers being like scheduled tasks it has to do at certain times, or just tasks that it's got to repeat every certain amount of time that has passed. Okay, every 5 minutes, every 15 minutes, etc. So let's see if Janus successfully logs into the company portal. This is not my company portal, this is a test portal, and creates a new passport filing. Okay, so there's some data in the email, like passport number, expiry date. Okay, I believe country of origin. And let's see if Janus can successfully get this done. I think it's really cool that we can see what Janus is doing always. Like, you know, she's always aware. And we always stay up to date on Janus's actions. Okay, so, sorry, let me. Yes, let's go. Okay, adding passport document, number, issue date, expiry date, issued by. Pops open the drop down. Let's see if it successfully selects the country. I believe it did. Okay. And once it has been created, it's just going to close the task and it's going to be seen as completed. Let's see if this pops up. Just been building this over the past few days. I was just building it like over the past 2 days really hard actually. But I think it's really cool. Come on, Janus, you did it. Oh, Janus didn't do it. That's why Janus is going back to correct its mistake. It didn't select the country. Come on. Third time's the charm, Janus. Or not. Okay. So it kind of screwed that up. I'll be honest. It says it was complete, but it failed to put the country of origin because it was a little drop down. But we move on, all right? Let's try set up where we give an instruction to Janus verbally, okay? Hey, I want you to go to Google Scholar real quick, search for First Amendment violations, check for the Bell v. Wolfish article, download it, and send it to my email ASAP. Thank you, Janus. Let's see if it gets that done. So it's open the article. It's going to save it to a certain folder, which automatically emails it to me. Search and download specific article from Google Scholar. And that has been done. Okay. So I'm gonna cut it short here. See, it kind of messed up this task, and this is where you would go back and you would train. You talk to it and be like, "You did that wrong," and you would fix it. And there will come a point in the near future, and I'm talking the near future, like in the next few weeks or few months at most, where the reasoning model is gonna be the one teaching it whether how to do a task and to verify if it did it correctly or not. There will be no human in charge of doing a simple task like just selecting a country in the drop down. It'd be a negligible thing for the reasoning model to be like, hey, you forgot to put the country. You gotta put the country. And I'm working on it right now. It's just a bit tricky to implement. Okay. Let's try one more automation really quick, okay? So we got school portals, we got the Blackboard, we got the Canvas, we got the Moodles. And these are traditionally really hard to get a bot to do because there's really good anti-bot detection on these sites, okay? So let's see if JANUS can get that done. There's also some really interesting stuff that you learn as you try to set these things up. Like the automations work perfectly on a Mac OS environment, but they screw up sometimes on a Windows or Unix OS. I guess Mac OS is Unix, but there's something about the new Macs with the Retina display, the high deep, just super clear resolution that allows the automation software to work perfectly. Okay. But saying that, even on Windows, it gets 95% of it done pretty damn well. Okay. So we're just going to go to the profile. We're going to grab whatever's on the profile, which is nothing because I'm a degenerate. And we're going to save it to the desktop. Okay. Let's try one more automation. Okay, let's try to go to any one of these law case file websites and let's try this task. Okay, the sky's the limit in terms of what you want to get JANUS to do for you. I just made these really quick for a demo just to show you, Chris, and I was thinking tasks related to logging into portals and tasks related to research. Okay, let's see if JANUS gets this right. And while she's doing it, I'm going to send another email with the. I'm going to send the same email again and see if it gets it right this time. Because I swear to Christ, it got it right every other time. Okay. So that email has been sent. Let's wait for it to be received. But while it's hopefully gonna receive it, let me just finally explain this concept of what I have in mind. I'm certain that if you combine targeted self prompting, so not just arbitrary, I'm just gonna prompt myself with random gibberish based on timers, based on real triggers, okay? Based on instruction from way smarter models than your average GPT-4o or whatever. I'm thinking like DeepSeek R1, okay, or OpenAI O3 Mini. Let's see if it gets it right. Okay. Okay, it's going immigration. Okay, it's gonna add. It's gonna put a passport number that I provided in the email, and it just grabbed. It's gonna put the issue date, expiry date, and hopefully country. Hopefully country. It is a complicated automation. It's a little drop down, and then it's got to do a little scroll. Oh, Brazil. Brazil was selected. Okay. The beauty is we don't have to pre-program any of these. It does it by itself. It knows how to look at it. It did it. Okay. It knows how to look at what's on a browser screen and act accordingly. Okay. Sign in to test portal and add an immigration record. Done. Success. Okay. Done a bunch of these automations today. Okay. And I'm just gonna conclude here because I've been yapping for so long. But self-prompting, okay, with purpose, with focus, with a mission. I don't know why I call it Hive. Silly. I'm gonna take that out. A setup with many, many models working together in harmony, each playing to their strengths. Okay, some focusing on breaking down complicated tasks or complicated goals into actionable steps, testing them out, seeing if they work, and then adding it to their repertoire of tasks that they can do. And you combine those two things with agency. A bot that can't do work is never going to be an employee. It's got to be able to do work at least in a digital environment, but one day in a physical environment. And this whole setup, okay, once it's refined and it's made clean, then we're gonna connect it to some robot claws, okay, some giant robot arms with APIs dictating how the robot arm moves. And we're gonna link it to JANUS or a different, better version of JANUS, and that is gonna be completely winning. Okay? I'm certain of this and I'm working on it now. So this is what we have right now. Janus, okay? It isn't ready to put on the store yet, but you bet it's gonna be real soon. I apologize for it not working once, and I thank you for watching this video if you got this far. Have a great day.